All right, good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you're at, and welcome to our Vigil Agency team call. Today's call is going to be pretty straightforward. So we're just going to talk about association, how to get registered for events, things like that, and then I'll answer any questions that you guys have. A couple of quick announcements. So Michael Valdez earned his commission increase from 80 to 85 for February. And Justine Pridgeon as well, same thing from 80 to 85. And then we got to look at the numbers for to see if there is a team leader promotion. Got to double check that. And then we did start our getting people into the recruiting platform. Today was Brenda's first day this morning, so she was able to sit in on the interviews and hear how the process went, things like that. So if you guys have any questions for her on that, we can talk about that for a little bit as well. Guys, this morning, we had 7 interviews scheduled. I think we only saw 4, maybe 3. I don't remember what it was. That was a 50% show rate, we'll say, out of the 7, which isn't bad. One of them was a foreigner, so we just automatically cancel that one. Uh, so I try to catch those ones as soon as they book. That way I can cancel them and someone else can book in their place. But we don't always catch that. But guys, that's really the name of the game in order to get ahead, right? Is build yourself a solid team. So let me share my screen. And part of the reason why we're going to talk about association, right, is because in this business, at times it can feel like you're on an island all by yourself, right? Especially when you're sitting at home and let's say you're working super early or you're working super late and there's no one in the dial room and people aren't responding to your text message, right? When you associate, you get to find those people that are running the business in the same manner that you are. So, let's say that you decide to drive to a conference because it's super close. You might have someone in your neighborhood or in your area, maybe 30 minutes away, an hour away that you guys can drive down together. Um, I wanted to go to Align this week, but we have spring break next week. And for whatever reason, I kept thinking it was next week. I was like, yeah, we'll just go down there, go to Florida, and then go to, spring break with Caleb. But there's a lot of people here in North Carolina that drove down to that. So what I was going to do is show you guys here on SFG Quotes. There is this link right here for boot camps and overviews. And when you open that up, it brings you here. And this is just pulling information from someone's Google Calendar. I think it's Mike Delaney's. But we've got an event out in Birmingham, Alabama. So if you guys know of anyone in that area, that's interested in what we are doing, you can get them there, get them registered. Another one is going to be in Chattanooga, and that one is going to be on the 28th of March, right? And then this is the big one that we're trying to get everyone registered for, which is the Quility National Conference. This will be August 13th through the 15th. And when you click on that, it'll take you here. You can scan that if you guys want to. I will. Something was wrong with the website yesterday. A lot of agency owners were having trouble getting their owner code. So I think what it was just overloaded with people. So I'll have an owner code again. I'll have that as soon as the website is up and running. That way we can get you guys that code so you can register and use the payment option when it comes to that. The other thing that you guys can do, and if you guys have not been added to this, let me know. If you guys have not sent me a Facebook friend request, friend someone else on the team, right? Maybe like Brenda or someone as well, and we can just get you guys added to this. Oh, this is the wrong one. This is the leadership one. Sorry. That's the one for agency owners in the Kimbrell Master Agency. So this group, Cemetery Financial Group Agents Community. This one is for all contracted agents that are with Cemetery. You can see a lot of people that we know in this group already. So this is a good place to find boot camps. So like if you're interested in a boot camp, right, you just type in boot camp right there, and it'll bring up all the different posts that have the boot camp. So here's the one that we just talked about, right, in Birmingham. March 22nd. And then there's this one, that one was in Philly. But most people will post their corporate overviews or their boot camps right here. So if you guys are not a part of these Facebook groups or anything like that, please let me know so we can get you added to them. We have a Vigil Team 1. That one has not been as active as it can be, right? But we have SFG Success, which I believe I've added most of you all to SFG Success. It's really a good place to go and seek clarification, right? Like if you need something in the like where it's late at night and you're not sure, you can use that. You guys can use the WhatsApp chats. It's just another way to seek and source information, right? Um, Jim Larson posted something that I thought was actually pretty good, and I'm not necessarily saying that this is what I'm going to do, but I like the idea behind it, right? So he has a way to book a mentor meeting with him, right? Or time on his calendar. But on his, it says, please ensure the following. And he has got 3 bullet items. One, you've looked for the answer somewhere else before scheduling this. Two, the issue is big enough that it cannot be solved with a simple text message. Or three, Jim is actually the right person to help with this issue. And I think it's funny, right? Because in this business, and we're all guilty of it, myself included, right? How many times have you guys ever asked someone a question and then like 15 seconds you're 15 seconds later you're like, "Oh crap, that's right. That I know the answer." Or like, "Oh, I just answered my own question by saying it out loud," right? But we have ways of sourcing the answers. But being part of the association, and that's what I wanted to focus on today was the association part, is being able to utilize other people, right? No one, you guys don't have to rely on me. I like the fact that you guys do, right? I mean, especially if it's something important, but sometimes you just need to bounce an idea off of someone else. Brenda doesn't come to me for everything, right? Michael Valdez doesn't say, "Hey, how do I, source out my clients?" He's just out there doing it and seeking counsel. You can seek counsel from a lot of people. The only thing I'd say is just don't commiserate, right? Don't seek counsel to commiserate. All that does is just it creates a bad mindset and things like that. And that's kind of what we're working through anyway with Darshan's book, right? Is having that positive mindset, working forward and moving through things. Darshan and or sorry, Brenda and Richard went out to Ignite. They got to meet people. They got to meet each other, right? They got to sit next to each other and get to know each other as well. And it's just a good opportunity to meet the different people on the team. Michael Valdez, who's out in New Mexico, right? He's got access to the Kimbrels who are out there as well. But there's a lot of events that happen out there, or in his neck of the woods, right? Arizona, California. California is $100 flight, right? Like if you take Southwest, you can get out there and go to all the boot camps that are there or in Nevada. Texas is another close place for you to go to as well, Michael. Here on the East Coast, guys, we got Pennsylvania. There's always events up there. There's a golf tournament that happens up there. And then here in North Carolina, we've got some in Lumberton. We have some in Winston, here in Greensboro as well. And we'll get all those events posted here quickly. So there's one coming up in Lumberton for those of you guys that are close to Lumberton down in it's North Carolina, but still in the southern part of it. So does anyone have any questions regarding boot camps, overviews, conferences, conventions, anything like that? No? Hey, look, there's Ken. Welcome, Kenneth. You're muted, sir. Um, you're still muted.
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right. Congratulations on passing your exam and getting licensed.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yes,
Yep.
sir. Good job on that. Jeff has been keeping us posted about your progress, so I'm glad that you're ready to get started. We did send you that contract, so we were just talking about association to the different events, and down in your area, there's going to be a corporate overview and um, boot camp over in Hilton Head. Um, Beginning of April. So there's another opportunity for you to get to meet some of the people down in South Carolina. There's one in Lumberton, North Carolina, so just a few hours north of where you guys are, and that one's coming up at the end of March. So we'll get all that information out to you. That way you have the ability to attend those different types of events.
Sounds good.
Does anyone else have any questions though regarding events? Brenda, Richard, if you guys want to talk about your experience at all from Ignite, You don't have to, don't feel like you have to, by any means, but I know like, the after events are usually where you get to meet the different people, right? Everything that goes on during the day is great. It's great for the business, right? But the things that happen afterward are good for the mind, right? Like you're good for the association, good for getting to know people, and just making those lifelong friendships. I mean, Brenda, how many people have you met at conference that you're now friends with and talk to on a pretty regular basis?
Probably more of my friend group now are cemetery people than non-cemetery people. I mean, like firsthand, Danielle and Jeremy Runner, they're in Idaho. They're part of Eric Ondrick's team, and I've been friends with them virtually than I have more in person. I think I talk to them almost on a daily basis, and I think I've only seen them in person at conferences and maybe one time in Angel Fire because they have a cabin up there in New Mexico. But other than that, I mean, I have a lot of people that I talk to on a daily that another gal, her name is Alyssa. We've been part of an accountability group from Justin Finney training that we did, very like almost 2 or 3 years ago when I first started with Cemetery. And so we again talk and text almost on the daily basis. And met her in person for the first time here at Ignite. So that was kind of finally fun to put name to the face after a almost 2 year, relationship with her business wise. So it's definitely fun to finally meet everybody in person.
Yeah, and Jeremy and Danielle, right? I mean, you're going to be Auntie B to the baby, right?
Yep,
Um,
exactly.
we go through these life journeys with people here, and that's one of the things that I really do enjoy about Cemetery is that, we're a family first, and I hope you guys feel that, in this agency for one, right? But then as a whole, we have the whole group. So we got the Kim Master Agency, and then part of that, we're part of the TAR hierarchy, and then Danny Young, which you guys get the message for every Sunday, right? And I mean, if you get I think of Danny like a great grandfather. That's what I think of him, right? Like he's just so full of wisdom. He's been in this business for so long, and he speaks life into people, So if you guys have an opportunity to get to any of these events, or if you need help finding events in your area, please let me know. Yes, most of us do this business because it is remote, right? But it is fun to meet people. It is fun to get out, and I like to say, I like the meeting after the meeting, breaking bread, right? The fellowship with other people. That's how you really get to grow here. So,
And
outside, oh, good.
I even have to joke because I always try and stay at the hotel where the event's being hosted if it's an overnight thing, just because even the elevator rides aren't fun in themselves because I was in the elevator with Kelly Bush and Jamie Susie. And so just being able to like get a 30-second conversation with them is even fun. And also Jamie Susie's a lot shorter than I envisioned in person. So again, just being able to meet those people that you see on stage and you admire to be and to meet one day, you end up getting an elevator ride with them and just get one-on-one connection, which is fun in itself.
So, being that you guys were there, how was the hot wing challenge, right? Man,
That
that I
was
was
great.
yeah.
I'll let Richard take that one.
Oh my goodness. Uh, I love spicy food, and I don't even think I would have gotten past level three. The reaction, the moment they took it, was hilarious, but there you can tell that they tried to focus on what the question was tasked because they were super big on trying to get across the point of answering the question of how they can help other people that are new to the industry. But that hot sauce was just who ended up winning, Brenda? I can't remember.
I don't,
Was
I
it
don't,
that wasn't I
I,
I
think
I
don't
don't,
everybody was like,
I think it was maybe Edward Pritchett, they said, but I don't even know
yeah.
how to determine
He
a
was the
winner.
most focused. He could talk the most. Well, also Darren Stubbs was pretty close.
Yep.
He did pretty good. Those were the two. I wouldn't beat them in a hot wing challenge, that's for sure.
No, but I think the reaction wise, Pogue was probably my favorite. He was just like dying. So it was
know.
entertainment factor 100.
And so for those of you guys that don't understand what we're talking about, so at this event in Dallas called Ignite, they got 5 or 6 leaders of the top leaders, and they got them on stage, right? And they did a hot wing eating challenge. They went from like jalapeno hot to the hottest thing on the planet, right? But while they were eating the wings, they were asking them very pointed and very deep leadership questions. And Chris Clark, I mean, the guy's brilliant, right? So he's asking these deep-rooted questions to them and trying to keep them, focused. They're trying to answer them in a very focused way. So that's one of those challenges that I would love to do, right? But again, it goes back to our core values. We have fun, but we get stuff done. And I think
He
that's,
had a great cowboy hat on.
yes, he did. Yeah.
Oh, oh, savage.
He reminded me of the guy from, oh, what's the name of that movie? The old cowboy movie with John Travolta with the bull riding. I'm sure you guys remember. Joseph, Chuck. I know you guys know it.
Urban Cowboy.
Urban Cowboy.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard of, yeah.
That's exactly who I pictured Chris Clark looking like, right? Was John Travolta when he's wearing those tight jeans and the white shirt with the rolled up sleeves and the cowboy hat, you know. So, but guys, we do have fun, right? And that's part of the association part. I don't know if you guys heard this as well, but like Marissa Turner, who you guys have heard from before, she got stuck in an elevator with 12 other people, right? I mean, at the host hotel, and they were in there for like 45 minutes. But this is the kind of fun stuff that we get to hear about. And all those people got to know each other. It's a life event that they had together. But yeah, find an opportunity to connect with other people that are in the business in your area. And if you don't have anyone, find someone to work with in your area, right? Bring them onto the team. That way you can do that. Jeddah, you're probably in one of the best areas that there is right now because that whole Pac Northwest is just filled with McManus muffins. And when you guys wondering what I'm saying, so Craig McManaman is one of our friends in the agency, great agency owner, rocketed to the top of the company in 2 years' time. But he's got something like 500 agents just in the Pac Northwest, just in those three states, Boise, Washington, and Oregon. I mean, but they have a ton of agents out there. So great opportunity for you to plug in, and I'll get you some stuff out there as well, Jeddah.
Solid.
And again, Michael, the Kimbrells, they have events all the time. If you start getting to $10,000 monthly, Michael, they'll take you to dinner, right? We'll get you out to dinner over at El Pinto or a couple other places that they like to go to out there. So Blackbird out in Corrales. But guys, we like to celebrate your guys' wins, right? Especially when you're doing well. There's nothing like taking you out to dinner and then you guys get to use that as well, right, for attraction marketing when it comes to growing your business. So, anyone else have any questions or comments? Anything you'd like to add, Richard, about Ignite?
I mean, not necessarily. Not that I've already shared.
Will you do me a favor and actually read or just tell everyone what your Facebook post said?
Oh, my Facebook post?
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I really did when you said about
Oh,
what you didn't expect getting out of conference because that happens to a lot of people.
let me see here. I got it right here. Oh yeah, I posted the picture that had been assigned to Ignite the ticket, and I said if I only knew what attending this event would do. However, motivation only lasts so long. It's time to take disciplined action. Let's go. Thanks to all the SFG family.
Love it.
Yes, sir. You know, and that's the reality, right? We can get motivated and we can be inspired and everything. At the end of the day, it comes down to what we do and how we do it. Activity trumps all here, but it's got to be good activity, right? We got to have good activity. And we were talking about this yesterday, right? IPAs, right? Income producing activities, making sure that they're things that are getting moving you ahead in the business because I'm guilty of it, right? I'm guilty of, oh, I don't feel comfortable in my office. I got to move my office around, right? Or my desk isn't clear enough. I got to clear my desk off before I sit down to make dials. And while all that's true, it doesn't really matter, right? All that matters is you picking up the phone, right? Rich, poor, rich, poor, rich, poor. I tell people that all the time, right? The other thing to get to know is like your metrics, right? Get to know your ratios. How much money are you making every time you pick up the phone to talk to someone, right? Whether they pick up the phone or not. How many times every time that you pick up the phone, how much is each dial worth? And that's why we have you guys do the activity forms. That way you guys can keep track of your metrics so you guys know, hey, if I have a bad day of dialing, that's all right. The numbers owe me, and that every time I picked up the phone, it was worth $25. Or every time I picked up the phone, it was worth 42, right? So, and that number changes. It's based on your metrics.
Mhm.
All right. Kenneth, tomorrow we will have our new agent orientation. I'll get that information over to you today. That way
Great.
you can get started. Anyone that's new or feel like they need a reset, tomorrow is a good opportunity as well to join us, and we'll cover just the basics and how-tos of getting started in the business. There are some changes that happen with the leads. So those of you guys that are between 80 and 95% commission, if you guys want to attend, I'm going to break down that whole process of the leads as well, because there's a lot of new information that was there, and I want to make sure that we're all on the same page for that. It's better for you guys. Let me just put it that way. Anyone from 80 to 95, getting more leads is going to be easier for you guys now, right? Because of the new rules that they put in place for that. So, outside of that, guys, that's all I have for today. Let me see here, see if I have any questions. Yeah, I mean, you can ask any question you want, Joseph.
Michael, what time does that program start tomorrow?
Our new agent orientation is at 10:30 Eastern.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So have you heard of Lead Elevate?
I have not heard of Lead Elevate.
Uh, it's something similar, I think, to what you did before, as far as teaching, building your website, and teaching you how to advertise on social media and generate your own leads.
Lead Elevate. Let me see who. Let me see if I know who it is, because there's a lot of pros
There's a
out.
lot of crap out there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to filter through some of it.
Well, if you're gonna do anything like that, Joseph, let me just get you a conversation like with Cody or even Javon. They have those programs for you as well outside of. Yeah, so like I don't know if you guys know this, but Cody Askins doesn't just own Kaboom. Like Cody has a social media program, so that they'll do your whole social media for you. And that's actually what I want to do now, because I'm kind of tired of all the political BS that's going on social media, and I'm getting to the point now where I just don't even want to get on there, because it's like it's both sides, right? Like you got extremes on both sides, and I don't want to deal with it. So if I can get someone else to do that for me, so I don't lose that presence online, right? Because social media is a big presence. But yeah, I can connect you with the right people if you're looking for that kind of stuff, Joseph.
I mean, I'm trying to find some, just the leads have been so short, and I know that maybe this is just a short amount of time or whatever it might be.
Yeah,
But
like I said, you guys were in a weird place, right? When you guys had started, but that was
yeah.
all changed now. And I mean, we're 4 days into the new program, so there should be a lot more leads available. But yeah, I'll send you that information for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Got it.
Which has that.
And
I've heard a lot of people having success with that one too on the Razor Ridge.
Yeah, the done for
Wow.
you. Yeah, the DFY. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Michael, did you happen to see my message about the recruiting agency activity thing?
I did not.
What's that called? The accelerator for Bitrix for the job interviews?
I did not.
Okay.
We can
About
stay
like
on,
Friday afternoons for the interviews that I was talking to you about.
we can stay on here though, and chat right after this. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Anyone else? Anyone else have any questions? Need anything? If not, I'll stop the recording and we'll call it good for today.